We're live.
Good morning.
We're live. Good morning. This magnificent Monday.
Monday's a great day. It gets to start a new day. It's like a New Year's Eve every week.
New Year's Day every week. New Year's Day every week.
Something got in my nose.
I'm so sorry.
But we do have I'm hoping you had a great weekend. Did you do anything cool this weekend? Did you get out of the house at all? Did you work out this weekend? Did you eat right this weekend? Did you stay up late? All that stuff.
What did you do?
Something in my nose. My throat.
There's a new day dawning. No.
You don't
No, I don't. With the whole new pollen. Ooh, the pollen.
That's what it could
weekend.
be. And daylight savings. I gotta blow my nose.
We're going to talk about all of it back in a moment. Hey, Miss Phyllis, we're going to talk about everything back in a moment after these messages. We'll be right back. Ding.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeil.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeil.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How was your weekend? This weekend was an amazing weekend. What is happening up here? This weekend times spring ahead. So I don't know what that means. We lost an hour, I guess, because if you have to get up at a certain time, then your body clock and your physical clock are not in sync yet, but they'll get there. Give it a minute. And we had an amazing service time. What else did we do this weekend?
We went out to eat. Friday night, we went to a steak dinner.
That was Thursday.
That was Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe so Thursday. Because Saturday, my son and his new wife came. Well, this is his only wife, okay? But my my firstborn son came over, and we went out to lunch.
His forever wife. We're pleading that over him.
Just like I'm not claiming pollen season.
Ernest, good morning. Uzama said, I did eat good and watch some good basketball. Miss Phyllis says, good morning. Ernest says, good morning. What a weekend. We don't spring ahead until March. So we only have a 4-hour difference, March 29th.
And does it make a difference? I think this year it does, because daylight savings. I mean, instantly, the next day we got a lot more daylight. It seemed like you got a lot more daylight the next day.
Yeah, but it wasn't just today. It's always like that.
I know it's always like that, but I've been one of the people who've argued that it makes no sense to do daylight savings. Okay,
you know that the more light didn't have anything to do with the clocks. Like God chose to let day be longer. If your clock still says whatever time it said yesterday at the time that the sun came up, guess what? The sun would still be waiting for it.
The clock didn't have anything to do with nature. However, 7 o'clock here is 7 o'clock when it was dark, 7 o'clock when it was not dark. Okay?
Right.
Because of daylight savings. Okay.
Not because of daylight savings.
Well, yes, because we set our clocks forward 1 hour.
Yes.
Okay. So that means everything went ahead 1 hour.
Every clock went ahead 1 hour.
Right. Every clock.
Right. But nothing happened. Nothing else happened.
I'm not gonna make this a
theological discussion.
Move the deer crossing signs conversation so that the deer know where to cross. Ma'am, you think the deer can read the signs?
Exactly. That's what I've had. That's the conversation.
I know. I ain't trying to have that kind of conversation either. But I do want to say Motivation Monday. When I was thinking, when I said it, is there something that someone said to you that has been the most motivational thing you ever heard? Or what motivates you? Do you have to go to a seminar to get motivated, or see something beautiful, or lose something, or get angry, or get happy?
You know what's interesting is that even though I haven't been a child for a whole lot of years, and I don't know that it was ever like forced on me even as a child, but spring cleaning is almost a natural thing.
We've been going through spring cleaning in my home, and I think this year we're doing it more. We're doing it in systematic, maybe
Systematic,
you know?
but definitely my intention is thorough.
And mine too. We got piles, but they're not bad. We're doing stuff.
They're not bad yet, but we're puttering around the spring cleaning.
We've gotten rid of some clothes yesterday.
Got bags pending for today.
We got more clothes to get rid of today. Clothes to get rid of. First world problems. What clothes to get rid of? But the things that motivate you, like
clearing my space.
I have been motivated by something I want. Okay, like I want to get this particular thing, and I have to work harder to get that thing. And then when I get that thing, it could be anything. It could be a suit, some shoes, whatever. A trip. I want to take this trip. Okay, it motivated me. I remember in the military when I was at Fort Eustis, Virginia, we had to run 3 miles on Fridays, and this is one Friday I was already tired. My body wasn't feeling it.
How many miles do you run the rest of the week?
I don't know. Some days it'd be 2, some days it'd be 3, some days it could be 6. It depends on what the drill sergeant takes us through. But on Fridays we had to run 3. But there was this one Friday I didn't feel like it. I didn't have it. But they also told me that if you don't finish your 3-mile run, you can't leave the base this weekend. And I had a plane ticket.
That'll motivate you on it. Right.
I still didn't feel like it, but
that had you running like Ben Hill.
I had to keep going. I was looking at the ground, looking at my feet, going one more step, boom, 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 because I got to get on that plane. They was going to deny me my freedom, Ernest, if I didn't finish this 3-mile run.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, this weekend is one. I think it was wonderful. Yesterday, Mom decided to join the church.
My mother joined our church yesterday. I saved those pictures. I'm going to send it to her today. They extended the right hand of fellowship. My church don't typically do that. We just... You come.
Right. Thank you for coming.
We don't need that tradition like that.
Typically,
but we did yesterday.
But it's a tradition that's worth revisiting from time to time.
And I think that's an appropriate amount of time. We don't have to do it every Sunday like that. Okay. But anyway... my mother did, get on her rollator, hold on her rollator, and rolled herself up to the front of the church, and they received the right hand of fellowship from my pastor, make her official. Okay. And she wasn't the only one, but that was nice to see. Ernest James Usher, good morning.
He says, yes, motivational. Recently, Representative Al Green said they can do what they may, but I will do what I must. Mm-hmm. His speech on Roland Martin. And this quote motivated me to learn more about budget spending. Be more aware as a DOD citizen to stay ahead and stay involved in the right area. I just applied to get back in school for a political science degree. Motivated.
Awesome testimony. Awesome testimony. And a lot of times a speech will motivate us. Mm-hmm. Thus the term motivational speakers. They do oftentimes. Sometimes the motivation is temporal, but still, even for the moment, it's still worth it. I'm excited for you, Ernest, that it motivates you to go back into school for a political science degree.
I think that's interesting that you said, even if motivation is temporal. I think motivation is intended to be temporal. It's to ignite something. And if you continue to strike a match, the value is not in the strike, it's in the fire.
See, now your stuff is coming out. Now you're digressing your colon in front of everybody. That was brilliant, baby. That was pretty smart. It was intended to be temporal. It was like a strike of a match or a spark. And if you keep sparking that sparkling rock, you can get a fire. I like it, baby. Now, what I just did was Oswald Batesism. Some of y'all will be old enough to remember who Oswald Bates is.
Ernest, it's okay if you're not. It's okay if you're not old enough to remember it. If you go to YouTube and you Google Oswald Bates, you can get it. It's okay. I have faith in you,
Ernest. I try, man. I ain't trying to have her mess with you like that, man. Leave my man alone, baby. He ain't do nothing to you.
I love him. He knows that's why I pick on him. I even sent him a joke on myself and called him out.
He ain't got no weapon. Hollywood Shuffle is on Prime now. Hollywood Shuffle. Some of y'all remember Hollywood Shuffle? That movie came out in 1987.
Ernest said, I love the analogy. Spark of a match. Just gave Lisa props. And I know who Oswald Bates is. So there.
It's so
there. That's okay. They probably had him on while you was over at Grandma's house when you was little.
Oh, God, Lisa.
Ernest said, because Keenan Ivory on Living Color pretended to be him in jail.
You almost had it right, Ernest.
Bless your heart.
It wasn't Keenan.
No.
It was Damon Wayans.
Oh.
And it wasn't just in jail. It's like 20 scenes.
It's okay, sweetie.
That's so close.
It's all right. Keep studying.
It was Damon Wayans' character. Ernest.
But you know what? Actually, we're making fun. We're laughing. But I'm going to tell you that I had a revelation this weekend also about the benefits to history. And I personally, probably only in the last 10 years, grew to have an affinity for and even a tolerance for, because I had to first grow a tolerance to have an affinity, or I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but I didn't have no use for history.
10 years. Yeah, I think you're about right. Because it's been 10 years since we've known each other.
Yes.
And her husband, Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeil's husband, likes history.
Yeah.
He could spend a whole afternoon looking up biographies and history, the history of Black people, this, and business people, that, history of empires, different countries. I like it a lot. And we started talking about some of the things that I researched, and it sparked my wife's curiosity about some history, especially stuff that used to be a little bit frustrating that you didn't already know.
Yes, but even history as a whole, the benefit of history, because I think I look at history still a bit differently than you do. I apply it a lot, maybe just different ways.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. Because I am really interested in theological history. I'm really interested in origin and etymology as it relates to history.
Well, origin and etymology of what? Words, companies, systems?
So if you're going to use one of those three, I would say systems. Systems being the desire for man to be in alignment with God, and the etymology and the historical origin of those things.
I feel you on that. Motivation Mondays. What motivates you? Have you heard anything that motivates you? Did any particular person or thing or talk motivate you? Something you saw motivated you? Thank you, Ernest, for that submission about our Representative Al Green. Al Green was also the one, if you guys don't know, was the one that was kicked out during Trump's speech.
Yep. Now,
we got all kinds of history of people dissing other presidents. And nobody, especially Barack. Barack was the best. But someone tried to yell out, "You lie," and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, hold on now. No one's getting thrown out. No one's getting thrown out. We're all right. We're all right. You know, he calmed the mood and told him, "No, you can say your stuff, but now you're going to hear me because I'm the prez, mother." Ernest says,
but I agree with history.
Wait, I want to say one thing before you read that. History. I am becoming more and more as I get older, impressed with, maybe the opposite of impressed with, the fact that history stands for his story, and it is told by the winners. The history of the Cowboys and the Indians is told by the winner of the battle, the Cowboys.
Has been.
But the Indians version doesn't get told nearly as much.
Or it doesn't get.
His story is told by the winner.
It hasn't. Prior to the advent of social media,
right?
We often didn't even hear another perspective of history from anybody's standpoint other than the ones that controlled the media.
And the schools.
Mm-hmm. And those who wrote the books. But now that some of that leverage has been, it's leverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ernest said, Brian, your Obama impression was not that bad.
I never really worked on my Obama impression, but I want to make this clear.
See what you did? Happier today,
I want to
William
be
Brown.
straightforward. I want to make sure that we're clear with each other. Now, you see, no one's going to do business with you just because they like you.
You see?
Now, Lisa, I want to be clear. I want an evening.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have the music playing. I thought we could spend some time together.
You see?
Now.
Even
I want to be clear.
doing an impression of the former president of the United States, President Barack Obama, you are going to get an allusion to sex. Alluding to sex.
Wow. Well, Lisa, I just wanted to be clear. I didn't say sex. I didn't say that. I talked about a lovely evening.
Okay. I can't.
Why did you say alluding to sex? I wasn't even thinking about sex.
No.
That's in your head. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Was.
Motivation. There's certain things that have motivated me so much. I once went and saw a speaker's event where Zig Ziglar was the featured speaker, and his speech was phenomenal. But what motivated me was right after I had a copy of his book, I ran up there and I shook his hand and I got an autographed copy of his book. And he took the time to write his name, and he wrote Ephesians 2, 8, and 9. And his name, he wrote that Ephesians 2, 8, and 9, and signed his name. A lot of people wanted his autograph, but he wrote it motivated me that he wrote the scripture in his name, And it got me excited about getting better because of that great man. And Ephesians 2, 8, and 9, lest by any work should any man boast. Okay, you don't need to be bragging about the works you've done. Something like that. But it's Ephesians 2, 8, and 9. Zig Ziglar autographed his book. And because of that, when I autograph my books, I put a scripture too that means something to me. I put Colossians 3. I put Brian K. I said, great meeting you. Best wishes. Brian K. McNeil, Colossians 3, 23 and 24. And whatever works you should do as if working for God and not for the man, not for man. For there'll be a reward for this. That's Colossians 3, 23 and 4. Anyway, William Brown, good morning again to you, my brother. He says, Brian.
Just like the conversation we had a few years ago about the many sides of the story, coming to terms with the fact that what many of us calls history is just a side of the story.
It is. And thank you, William Brown, for reminding me of that wonderful conversation. William Brown and I was just having a talk conversation on the phone 2014. Okay, because it had to be a year before I met Lisa, because it was in my head that long. So 2014, William Brown, do you realize it's been that long, man? Wow. So anyway, 11 years ago. But anyway, we were talking, and I made a comment, there's two sides to every story, because I was arguing with somebody. There's two sides to every story. And William Brown was like, well, Brian, actually, there's more than two sides. There's your side, there's her side, there's the side of the people that see you, There's the side of you and someone else's opinion. There's the right side. There's facts. There's all kinds of stuff. And he was able to name a bunch of different sides, and it really, really opened up my mind that there's more than two sides to the coin. There's more than two sides to an argument.
Absolutely, which is actually what I got into over the past 2 weeks as I was preparing my understanding of Lent.
Boy, Lisa gave a talk yesterday at church, and she was ready. I mean, she had names, she had time periods, she had a message, and she delivered, y'all. I should have synced it. Lisa delivered a message yesterday. It
was just a mini message. It was a sermonette. 3 minutes long.
It was way more than 3 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Not way longer, but it was longer than 3 minutes, baby.
Between 3 and 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll go with you on that. Okay. But it was great. It was great. And 3 to 5 minutes is long enough to make an impact.
That's why I don't typically want more than that.
It's long enough to make
15 is as long as I want to talk. I'm not one of those preachers that's going to be before you long unless I'm forced.
Oh my gosh. A situation where they say, Lisa, I need you to fill 45 minutes. See that reaction?
I've been on the other side of the seat. I've been on the other side of the seat, and I have not forgotten what 45 minutes feels like.
Yeah, but they tell that to me. I'll do 45 minutes and it'll feel like 15 minutes to them. I've got testimonials that say that. He spoke for an hour and it felt like 15 minutes, or we needed more time with Brian. I've gotten those comments too. But those things that motivate, what else motivates you? Does clothing motivate you? Or a new pair of shoes? Does that motivate you?
Or possibilities, do they motivate you? Or options, do options motivate or paralyze you?
Yeah. Motivation means getting to action, taking action, cause and action. That's what motivation is. Ernest James Usher says, however, what Lisa does is what people need in order to understand. I like when she teaches and instructor ministers, because the breakdown is necessary for understanding. I don't mind hoopers and hollers, but teaching is where the exposure of the truth will reside. You are right, Brother Ernest. Lisa broke it down. Well, she always do, Ernest. She always does. Her demeanor is one that's welcoming and warm.
Hey, Lena.
And her voice tonality is always amazing. And she has everyone rapt attention when she gives her talk. There's nobody not paying attention to her pretty face and listening to what she got to say.
I was glad to be there.
Yeah. And because you were willing to do your homework, you studied and showed yourself approved. She was willing to do her homework. I'm very impressed about that, about my wife. Is that Lena Janelle, baby?
Hey, Antonobi, good morning. Today is
Antonobi's in the hizzy too?
Always weekend update.
And Monday
motivation. What'd you do this weekend? Did you have any fun? Did you have any relaxation? Did daylight savings time kick your butt, or did it sneak up on you? What exactly happened? I just shared it again for you.
Motivation Monday. What motivates you? Motivation is personal, by the way. It's a personal thing that causes someone to want to move and do some stuff. William Brown says,
Lisa, I like to believe it depends, but what I do know is I am paralyzed at a buffet. I know that's right.
Paralyzed at a buffet?
Sometimes it's just like,
too much. Okay.
I'll have a glass of water.
Too much to choose
with
from?
some ice.
I used to be a part of companies where I was really good. I had studied a lot and I had really gotten to the top of my game. And then they came in with new leadership. And the leadership said some stuff that just really pissed me off. They said, okay, Brian, your goal this month is going to be this, and your goal this month is going to be that, and your goal. They were telling us what our sales goals are supposed to be, and it just pissed me off. You don't tell me what my goals are. What you think my goals are have nothing to do with me. I argued the point. And every time they tried that with me, I would say, look, don't tell me that no more. Whatever that goal number you have in your head, just keep it to yourself. My goals, my standard for myself is higher than what you would set. I don't even want you to tell me, It was a demotivator for me, William. It was a demotivator.
Why? Because if you just reached what their goal was, then you really wouldn't be stretching yourself.
And it's none of their daggone business. They don't know my skill set. They don't know my drive.
Sure, but
it was
Is it not fair that they could have a minimum goal?
Keep that to yourself too. I don't care what your minimum goal is.
Really?
I'm not a minimum player.
I understand.
Okay, I'm not going for minimum.
Absolutely, I understand that.
Companies that set sales goals, you know what happens? All the salespeople crowd around that number.
Yeah, sure. But as the owner of that company or the leader of that team or whatever, are they not within their rights to determine at least a minimum of expected behavior?
No, they should ask what my goal is. They should ask each individual salesperson, this calendar month, what are you committed to doing? How hard are you willing to work? What is your goal instead of your goal is? It's a very different mindset shift, which brings to mind tonight's topic. Tonight, we're doing a 5-minute sales makeover mindset makeover, how you sell yourself. The 5-minute business makeover tonight, that's what we're going to cover in the Sales Confidence Mastery group at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you've been before, welcome back. If you haven't, come as my guest. But that's what we're going to cover tonight, the 5-minute makeover. And a large part of that makeover is the way we think. My goal is 16 sales this month. I don't want you telling me the company standard is 8 or 10.
What about for those people who need to at least have themselves stretch to what they believe is a stretch? There are some people that are not absolutely, but going back to the fact that this is a business, right? I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking about a business where the owner has a right to have a certain set of expectations for their staff, and everybody does not operate on the same level.
Organizations that do that, they're creating mediocrity. That's what I believe. Okay. They are creating a mediocre work environment. They're not creating an environment where anybody can excel that way. The only ones who excel in companies that motivate, the only ones who excel is considered the maverick of the company, or the guy that don't play by the rules. Don't worry about Tony. He does his own thing. And he's always the top dog because he doesn't buy into that. Okay. I'm flatulating y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And you know why I didn't interject?
Because I'm right.
No, because a man who is of an opinion and has everything loaded already to respond to that opinion will keep that opinion for as long as they decide to keep that opinion. And I have breath that I'd like to say.
Let me help you with the expression.
No, I know the expression, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm going to say it anyway.
Because it is locked and loaded.
That's right. It's locked and loaded. Mm-hmm. I got to fire this thing off.
Absolutely.
But a man whose opinion is changed against their will is of the same opinion still. So if you force someone to change their mind, they're going to keep their mind the way it was. They'll do it to get past you, but that's it. Andrea, what are you talking about? Andrea Chocolate Butterfly, what you talking about? She says the impression and the face of Lisa's reaction. Which impression are you talking about?
Probably the incredulous one, but it's okay.
My impression of what?
No, none of it. Dr. Never mind. It's okay.
Mufasa.
We weren't talking about any of those.
T'Challa things. Or Baku. Which of my impressions is she talking about? Simba. Everything the light touches is your kingdom. Everything the light touches is my queen. It's mine's ends. All it is mine's ends. You know, I've been impressed with that. You know, the fact that, you know, my wife worked real hard and studied and delivered an amazing message this past Sunday because she put in the time, she put in the work, because it was important to her that she show up ready. You know, same thing with me. I will study my craft. Even if it's a talk I've given 1,000 times. Does your husband have notes? Will your husband get ready? I'll have it ready.
I understand. Weekend update, what you do, what you have going on. What did you discover? Hopefully your weekend has a little bit of discovery in it.
I had lunch with my grown-up son and his wife. My son is now 34. And, he'll be 34. Excuse me, 33. He'll be 34 in July. And he just got married last year in the spring. He was here in Charlotte.
March 10th.
Celebrating his 1-year wedding anniversary. So us three, because Lisa went to an event with my mother on Saturday. We had to divide and conquer. So me and my son and his wife went to lunch. And it was such a wonderful conversation, such a wonderful time. I was such a proud dad to be sitting there with my son and his wife having lunch. Grown-up children are great. Grandchildren are still the best, but grown-up kids are great. I've been blessed that way.
It was nice to see them. It's always nice to see Daz and Malia. Mm-hmm. Always. I actually found the keepsake from their wedding.
There's another one downstairs in the cabinet. They're glass.
Yeah, but I know where that one was. But the little heart keepsake, I found it
from their wedding. Mm-hmm. And then it came by the house, and I got a chance to tell a really great dirty joke. With my son, his wife, my wife, and my mother in the living room. They reminded me of a great dirty joke, and I told the great dirty joke, and everyone loved it.
Or something.
Everybody thought it was hilarious.
or something.
Especially my son.
Good morning, Candace.
I was
Thank you
out
for joining us
introducing
this
my son
morning.
to people at the bar that we go to.
You didn't need to.
People was like, "Oh, I can see that your son."
Absolutely. He looks like you by yourself.
Sister Lena Janelle says, I worked and chatted all weekend on the heels of an awesome week behind me. Yesterday, I was motivated to do a tribute drawing for a classmate who passed away suddenly. I wasn't getting paid, but my spirit led me to do it. Dr. Bonita Lockhart once told me to let God lead me whenever I wanted to share my gift for free. I am motivated by many things, but sometimes it's as simple as I felt like doing it in all caps with exclamation with emojis. Thank you, Sister Lena Janelle, for sharing it. I felt like doing it. Is that Sister Candace Jennings? Good morning, Sister Candace Jennings. Hopefully you had a great weekend, but I would love your thoughts on the word motivation. I want to go back to Lena Janelle's. I felt like doing it. You know, she got internally motivated. We once learned this thing, the 5-second rule. Okay. You know, if you don't want to do something, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take a step towards it. Robbins, yes. I don't really like a whole lot of her stuff, but I like the 5-second rule. But one of the things she says why it works is, like, if you don't feel like getting up in the morning, you know, or if you don't feel like starting the book or writing the letter or making the phone calls, if you don't feel like doing anything, she supposes that everything that we decide to do, our brain initially doesn't want to do it. So you have to get past that initial, I don't want to do it, I don't feel like it. Just even getting in the car, going grocery shopping, your brain initially doesn't want to do anything. Okay, so you have to fight past that. And one of her tools is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sometimes just the motivation to just push past it. But with all that in mind, Sister Lenny says, I felt like it. Her initially felt like it. She didn't have to go through that period. I don't feel like doing it. Is that close to true? Do y'all believe Robbins is right that almost anything, our brain initially doesn't want to do it? You know, but we have to fight past it, and we have to use tools sometimes to fight past it.
I was actually reminded over this weekend that sometimes we overlearn sayings. Sayings are just something that has consistently been said over time because it has consistently worked for a few people, for enough people to have identified this as best practice, right?
Example?
Doesn't matter. Anything. You
sayings,
can use
okay.
The sayings if you want to. But one of the sayings that is particularly utilized, particularly in the Black community, but is not necessarily, the whole thing is not used. It's chew the meat and spit out the bone. Typically, we use that saying when we're talking about, if you don't like that part, then don't do that part, right? But the part about chew the meat is often overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
People be spitting bones out. You ever seen somebody plate with chicken bones on it and they didn't get that meat off that bone? It makes me mad.
It galls.
You done wasted my good chicken and you left all of this meat on the bone. But it's important that when you're dismissing what doesn't work for you, that you give yourself enough time to at least understand why it might work, so that you can apply the principles of it working to you before you decide to disregard the principles of it not
before
working.
You even chew it up.
That doesn't work.
That's like putting it in your mouth and just dropping it. You don't even chew it. You didn't try to get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Timona the Brew is here early
Good
enough
morning,
today
Timona.
for us to visit with her, to enjoy her. You know, when you said, you know, these sayings, particularly in the Black community, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with it. But there are certain sayings that we should let go of. Like this one saying that was real popular, but it doesn't always apply. But the expression was, it's all good. You know, people start saying it's all good to anything.
Well, the reason why they say that is because it's a paraphrase of Romans 8:28, which is all things work together for good for those that know God and are called according to his purpose.
It's a paraphrase, and you're right, and I believe that's where it came from. But our friend Cedric the Entertainer really made that make sense to me. When you talk about people use all good all the time, and sometimes it's just not. Conversations like, yeah, man, you heard Keith, man? That Keith got 16 years, man. Well, it's all good, No, it's not. Not in that instance.
You don't know.
That's not all good.
It might be.
But
Sometimes he needs a timeout.
Right. She's right again.
God
y'all.
is in complete control.
Lisa's flatulating again. Go ahead, baby. Today
in African American History by Michael A. Carson. On March 10th, on this day in history, 1837, Dr. James McCune Smith became the first African American to earn a medical degree.
What?
He studied at the African Free School in New York. He was a very successful physician in New York with a busy practice and 2 pharmacies where he trained several African American pharmacists. Smith was an avid abolitionist and a supporter of the Underground Railroad. And that is one to go.
That's great. And Damona's agreeing. It could have been worse.
That's right. You never know why.
We know people who did time and came out flourishing. I can think of 2 or 3 off the top of my head. Josh Proby,
There will always be a possibility of something worse. Absolutely. And even death in some cases, not to minimize or trivialize any death, but I'll even go back to a biblical lengthening of lives. Hezekiah, he should have died 15 years before. He was in much better standing with God when he saw the handwriting on the wall before God lengthened his life. So sometimes you're going to beg yourself into a position. Let God direct your path.
I love it. I love where we're going. And go back to Romans 8:28 again.
All things work together for the good of them that know God and are the called according to his purpose.
All things work together for the good of them that know God. For them that know God. I love it so much. So like Damona and Vicky just highlighted, those situations, even when I was joking about it, said you were joking about it, it could have been worse. And like Lisa highlighted, it could have been for their betterment. It could have been a blessing. Lena Janelle says.
Agreed, Brian. As for overused sayings, I recently told someone playfully, stop reciting bumper sticker talk to me.
Mm-hmm. I love popular sayings and advice, but sometimes folks get lazy and will rely on other people's wisdom to express something that they need to express on their own. And that's bumper sticker wisdom.
Absolutely. That's actually more of us than we even want to admit to, because the things that we learned, once we learn them and we capture them, oftentimes we capture the lesson, but we forget the message that came along.
Comes out skewed a lot of times.
And because of that, it gets shifted, it gets changed. But for the sake of time, we do use these shortcuts, like she says, bumper stickers, sayings. So we do use them. Absolutely.
Cliches and platitudes. Be careful dropping these cliches and platitudes and bumper stickers on people, especially when they're hurting. When someone's going through something, it's not the time for you to give them your bumper sticker magic or your cliche when they're going through something.
Vicky says the beginning of Romans 8:28 states, for we know. That's right.
Know.
For we know.
That's an important part too.
It is an important part of it. We have to know that all sayings work together. All things work for the good. Knowledge is powerful.
We got some smart people in this room, baby. We do. We got Vicky Linnell Evans flatulating on us. We got Lena Janelle bringing up the right stuff and Lena bringing the right questions to the hizzy. Thank you, ladies, very much. And who's that? Oh, that? Oh, it's not touchscreen. Go back up.
It is a touchscreen. Just don't like your touch.
Everybody likes my touch. Damona and Candace. That was too easy. Y'all don't know that one. Don't like my touch. Oh, really? You don't like my touch? Yes, you do. I am excited for so many things. The weather is breaking. Today's our last day in the 50s in this area, according to my AccuWeather. Starting tomorrow.
Forecast.
Starting tomorrow in Charlotte. We got 70-degree days for the foreseeable future. Woo, woo, woo. I like it.
I love it. Yep. I love it. And this weekend was lovely weather.
My wife made a beautiful chicken pot pie on Saturday.
Chicken and dumplings.
Chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings. I mean, the dumplings all up in this chicken soup kind of thing, and it was thick enough and soupy enough at the same time. I had it like 3 bowls of that thing, and there's 1 bowl left.
Your mother had she was looking for that bowl this morning.
There's 1 bowl left. I put it in the refrigerator in a plastic container.
Is there any more soup left? Your mother had 3 bowls. You had 3 bowls. I had a half a cup.
It's got to get in rotation, baby. That meal's got to get in regular rotation.
That's fine.
Because one of the hustles is figuring out how to feed 3 adults every day. What are we going to eat? You know, it's a hustle. Because after a while, you've eaten everything, right? Wrong, you haven't.
I'm going to make some chicken salad.
You know, it's almost time for, might even be too late, for your bean chili, your white bean chili.
Yeah, it's too late for that.
It's
you
not
need to wait for
when it's winter.
Winter, yeah.
See, I went through the whole winter and didn't get any of the
Yes,
white
you did.
bean chili.
You did. I made it twice. I made it twice. I didn't make a lot.
So long ago, I can't remember.
How long is the winter? The winter is 9 months long.
Winter's not 9 months.
It's not, but it feels like 9 months.
To who?
To me.
It's not feeling like 9
The
months. You live in
summer
North Carolina.
feels like 2 months.
Starting tomorrow, 70-degree weather. Chicken dumpling sounds great. Oh, and the other thing too, I joined the gym Friday, I think. I joined the gym, had a good workout Friday. And Saturday I didn't work out, but Sunday morning, I was there 8 a.m. right when they opened. Before church, I got another workout in. So I've gotten 2 good workouts in. My intention is just to go regularly, again, to get my body right for my swimwear time, but that's not my motivation. My motivation is just being fit and looking good in my clothes. That's really my motivation. So I've had 2 good workouts this past weekend, and I normally didn't do that. And I'm going to find some time today to get back to the gym too.
Damona said, it's never too late. I love chili all year.
Damona, I agree.
I don't really call it chili. I call it white bean soup or if I call it chili, I mean the red one, but I don't put any chili powder in it.
Well, whatever you call your white bean chili thing, I like it. So there's a few meals that we haven't put in rotation lately, you know, but we got to get creative. And plus we working so much too. Winter lasted forever this season. You feel like that?
I do too.
I feel like it lasted forever.
Yeah. Winter was longer than I ever appreciated.
Well, I'm glad we're past it. So what does that mean to you?
It's time to order the gazebo.
Well, for you, your energy goes up. It seems
does.
Like.
And I made it through this winter. I didn't take any medication for depression this winter. I made it through, particularly, I don't know if you wanted me to share that, but I typically experience depression, particularly in the winter months. And I typically take medication for it. And this year I didn't, and I didn't have any strong bouts. I had some dips, but I didn't have any strong bouts.
And that's very real. Lisa did get some pills, but I noticed in 10 years with you, your energy comes up in direct proportion to the season sometimes, and the winter does bring her down. Sister Candace Jennings says,
motivation. I've always been self-motivated.
She goes, motivation? I've always been self-motivated. I've learned moving from my heart space makes things effortless. Moving from her heart space. It's easier with the love of a thing, and challenging when having to navigate the more uninspiring things. I have to motivate myself with my evening classes. Motivate myself with my evening classes, not for the lack of joy of teaching, but the fact that I get up so early. I have to motivate myself at 4:30 p.m. because the wave of lethargy hits at that time. Some with healing and great health, we have to be motivated to be well. Thank you, Sister Candace Jennings. I want to suggest something, reading that, because I know what you mean about the evening people. And what I do, my cure is to take a nap. Because I believe my evening people deserve the same energy as my morning folks.
Vicky said, there is a white bean chili. I had it at a restaurant and it was good. Amen. Well, it might be white bean chili, but I just don't put any chili powder in it. So everything else.
Yeah. Demona said it's been colder than the last few. So this winter's been colder than the last few. It probably has been because I've been one to lament. We don't really even get a winter here. We get 1 or 2 days of snow.
We got more of a winter here this year than I ever wanted. Ever. There is nothing about the winter. Even the snows that we had.
We had 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 times where it was white on the ground, and we haven't had 2 in a while. Candace is giving some applause. Thank you very much.
We had a Game of Thrones winter.
Oh.
I was looking for White Walkers, but all we got was an orange dragon on the throne at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
We've been skirting around that talk because it'd be so easy for us to deviate into talking about that a lot, but we don't want to talk about that.
Demona said, yeah, that's what made it so long. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the snow and it was just a lot.
I didn't pay that much attention to it, you know. I had my head down, been focused. I've been spending a lot of time thinking, especially the last few days, about the focus of my life, where I'm putting my time, where I want to put my time. And it can get to be overwhelming, you know, because you got so much stuff. Mm-hmm. If I go in this direction, I'm not doing that, it could be challenging. That's why I need Lisa to bounce stuff off of. Boy, did she realize it sometimes, Shorty.
Oh, no, I definitely realize it.
Cactus chili?
Cactus chili kind of weather.
Winter.
Kind of winter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what cactus chili is. Candace said, I agree, Lisa. I'm a summer fun girl.
I'm a summer fun girl.
Yeah.
Wait. Hot girl summer? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Hot girl summer?
That is the only kind of summer that I want. Hot girl summer.
Oh,
officially for me.
Oh my gosh, look at the time. We are late. We got to do our greeting songs and greeting logos. Sister Vicky Linnell Evans says,
the winter wasn't so bad. One winter here in Charlotte, we had ice and snow and we couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
Not this year. Few bouts of snow, but it only lasted a day. Absolutely. Demona says Showmars has a cactus chili, I think. Okay.
We got to hurry up.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
You came in here just in time because we haven't even started yet, but we're about to start right now. It's our way of saying thank you to our consistent contributors. Candace, brace yourself. We're about to say thank you, and the way we do that is with greeting songs and with greeting logos. For example, up first today is Mr. Uzama Ra.
Bitcoin King. He's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King.
He's the Bitcoin King. You got the shake for trying to get past that.
You shook out my yawn. I don't know what happened.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
So clear the way.
Miss Phyllis is
here. And we can all have a great day. What we're doing is greeting songs for people who have been regular contributors. Before you do that, Candace Jennings, you've been popping on here for years. Let's come up with a jam for you, Candace Jennings. A song or a genre that we can put your name in. For example, Ernest James Usher has one too, and it goes, if you need web designing or some digital marketing, don't call me. Call Ernest James Usher. Ernest James Usher. That's Ernest's jam. William Brown has a song too, and it goes, good morning to our friend Will. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Will. That's William Brown's greeting song. Antonobi Evans has one too.
Thank you, Antonobi.
This is one that we all can participate in. Put on your Nigerian voice. Sit up straight in your chair. Take a lot of air to your body and say, thank you, Antonobi. That's our jam. Scroll, please.
Thank you, Antonobi. Lena Janelle, baby.
We gets high off her art, don't know how to behave. Ooh, that's Lena Janelle's jam right there. Andrea Chocolate Butterfly's got one too.
Chocolate butterfly, sail across the water. Tell your sons and your daughters what the promise brings.
That's our Andrea Chocolate Butterfly's greeting song. Demona DeBrew has one too. Demona DeBrew is one of our the original really. But her jam goes like this. Ain't nobody flyer. Nobody's flyer than Demona DeBrew. Ain't nobody flyer. Nobody's flyer than Damona DeBrew. Damona, it's been a long time since I've seen how fly you are in person, girl.
Hey, Vicky Linnell Evans. Oh,
Vicky,
I gotta go online and get my tickets real quick
for
the 10-minute.
Oh yeah,
play.
We're going to that.
AARP.
We're going to that.
AARG.
We're going to that. The 10-minute plays. We had such a wonderful time last year.
AAPG. Good gracious, I can't get it.
You did a good job getting it out.
Got to it.
Vicky Evans rocks. Steady rocking all night long. Vicky Evans rocks. Steady rocking to the break of.
Rocking to the break of dawn,
That's
y'all.
Vicky Linnell Evans jam right there. We got some more, I know. We did Andrea, Damona. We
Dr.
did
Deborah.
Dr. Deborah's got a song too.
Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
You know, thinking of our event later this month, I'm thinking of either entrepreneurial things. I was wondering if we had a showcase of entrepreneurs, like what does it take to become an entrepreneur? What's been your experience as an entrepreneur? And I would love to have people, sweetheart, that have gone from corporate to entrepreneur or government work to entrepreneurs, have them tell their stories. That's what's in my head. I should have probably had that conversation off camera. But scroll.
We're done.
We're not done.
Dr. Deborah says she's traveling this weekend. Lena Janelle says summer fun, girls. Sounds like a 1990s sitcom on NBC. I know that's right.
I keep forgetting Lena's
Just
not a
in
kid.
time for my song. Yay, I'm glad, Dr. Deborah. Dr. Deborah, Damona says, hey, chica.
Lisa, you look too cute doing that dance to Ernest James Usher's song. Amen. And the 10-minute festival, I'm telling you.
You want to go. Go to etix.com and put in the search AAPG to find and purchase your tickets. We already have someone with Candy Girl, but she hasn't been on very consistently, and that was actually floating through my mind as well.
We can go with Candy Girl.
Candy Girl,
We can do
you're
that.
my world.
Let me tell you about this 10-minute
You're
plays.
everything. You're everything.
All these
Everything
playwrights, these people that write plays, they look for places to showcase their plays. They write their scripts, they get their actors, they rehearse. And what Vicky has done is she created a platform where 10 playwrights can have 10 different snippets of their play showcase, kind of like a preview of coming attractions. And it is a motivating thing too to watch these people go up there and give it.
It's wonderful.
It's to give it 10 minutes at a time, and they take you there. And then one after another, and you get their stories. It motivates you to want to do more and be more, and it motivates you to appreciate the performers.
Absolutely.
We had that experience, Lisa and I did before.
And I loved it. etix.com, and then do a search on AAPG to find the African American Playwrights Group.
Now, Damona says, maybe I'll stop by and say hi. Damona, it's been so long since do you even know where we live? You know our address? But you'd be welcome at any time. So do I have to give you a song? Let's go with Candy Girl. But Candace Jennings, you're kind of like a Renaissance woman. She's been a performer for many years of her life, but she's also, and I'm not doing it well, but she's a health practitioner. She teaches yoga and different body movements. I know I don't know everything. I'm messing it up. Okay. But if you look at Candace Jennings' page, you get a picture of someone who's been there, done that, been on high highs, been around stuff.
No, Damona. She said, did you move? No, she's been here.
We haven't moved in 4 years, 5 years. 4 or 5 years we've been in the same location.
Oh, Vicky says, we had one playwright who joined our group from last festival, and he will perform this year.
Only one from the last festival. That means everyone else is new? Wow. We got to go. Look at the time. It's 9:54. It's time for us to leave out of here today. Today is Monday. Make this a great week and start today.
And in the meantime and in between time, don't forget to have sex.